Wow. What? Wow. Wow. Guys, that was fun, right? I mean, you know me, I support Benfica. But you gotta go get your vitals checked if that Real Madrid versus PSG match didn't get you going, man. That, or you support PSG, in which it got you going for other reasons. But man, PSG has delivered us some iconic Champions League moments, ones they'll want to forget, of course. But hey, I'm Adrian, and welcome to this review of what happened yesterday in the Champions League. Ugh, I can't even speak. My oh my. And before we get to that, we got to thank our sponsors once again, as OneFootball have come in clutch. Just like Benzema, with OneFootball, you can stay in the know on all of the teams, players, and competitions that mean the most to you by simply following them in the app. And watch your homepage get packed with all of the latest news, such as this article that came out right after Real Madrid's epic comeback against PSG. On top of that, you can relive the action of matches you caught or take in the highlights of matches you missed. Listen to interviews, in-depth behind-the-scenes footage, track the transfers of potential signings for the club you support, and even watch matches live right inside the app. To get access to all of this for free, just use the link in the description or scan this QR code and you will be well on your way. Thank you to anyone who checks it out. It's a great product and one that has been helping this channel grow since 2018. They're loyal. We love OneFootball. All right, let's talk Man City versus Sporting. So, Man City advances 5-0 on aggregate, which was the score from the first leg, so... I mean, was there really anything to talk about in that match? Really? If anyone was offended that I didn't talk about that match, which was ultimately a dead rubber if we're being realistic, then I do apologize, but how can I speak about that when this match exists? Right? As you guys will remember, Real Madrid were pretty terrible against PSG in the first leg. They could barely get out of their own half. Mbappe owned the left flank, Verratti owned the midfield, and Real's attack was non-existent. In going through this match again, Real certainly seemed to have rectified all of that, at least in the early exchanges of this match, with the one caveat being that they didn't deal with Mbappe particularly well still. Well, when Asensio is constantly tucking in and Carvajal is occupying the space that he has vacated so far up the pitch, the outball is always going to be to Mbappe. And that was the case on a few occasions. Twice he beat Courtois at the near post, twice he scored, but only one of them counted. Mbappe's quality is undeniable, and while we saw bits of quality from Neymar, less so from Messi beyond that one combination he had with Neymar, and helping in the build-up to Mbappe's goal. I think overall Mbappe outshone them once again. The goal from PSG, I mean, it felt like this match was going back to what we had witnessed back in Paris. PSG with numerical superiority all over the pitch, Real struggling to get out of their own half, and when they finally got into PSG's half, the opportunities they developed were either from distance or some half-chance headers from Benzema. It really felt like this was heading in the exact same direction. And when Mbappe scored a ludicrous goal in the 54th minute, a step over that made Courtois look like he was wearing roller skates, I mean, that would have been the death blow. And one of my favorite goals of the round, if not for the quite clear offside. Unfortunate for him, 3 times he put the ball in the back of the net, but only 1 time did it count. With half an hour to go, Real still needed 2 goals just to force extra time, and they were given a gift in a couple of ways. One, Benzema's challenge on Donnarumma was probably a foul as he got none of the ball and clattered into Donnarumma, but what Donnarumma did was inexcusable. Massive error from him, referee lets the goal stand, and right there is the moment where the momentum began to swing. In that moment, I mean, you could smell it, the PTSD starting to kick in, the fear of another collapse from PSG in the Champions League, bottling it again. Whether those players were there for the original bottling or not, it got into their mental. They start to think of all the comebacks from years past, and they start to lose control of the match, bit by bit, just 10 minutes later, and the cracks in their defense began to show. However, Vinicius' miss from 6 yards out on 72 minutes, that felt like it would have been the death blow for Real once again at that time, but they kept on pushing, with Hakimi constantly getting caught out of position as PSG tried to get a goal themselves. Vinicius did to PSG what Mbappe did to them so many times. Act as the ultimate thorn in their side, their outball, with most Real counters coming through him. When he was played through with just Danilo to beat from the original angle, it looked like he had made a mistake in stopping short, not backing himself to beat the Portuguese midfielder or just hit one on his left foot. And that's where I was completely wrong. as cutting it back to a genius like Luka Modric is never a bad idea and his perfectly placed through ball to Benzema, I mean, you knew that was going in as soon as you saw who had it. Sure, it had some help along the way as the deflection carried it up and out of reach of Donnarumma, but the execution of the goal from Vinicius to Modric to Benzema was perfect. From there, PSG had completely lost control. Marquinhos is a great defender, and I reckon he's a decent leader as well. But with the atmosphere in the stadium and with his team's mental fortitude collapsing before his eyes, you could tell that it was over for PSG. Pernell Kimpembe, a capable defender on some of his best days, became Pernell Calamite, throwing in a reckless challenge all over the place. Hakimi, he was guilty of the same thing. And so the final mistake to kill PSG, to see it come from Marquinhos himself, was certainly surprising. He slashed at the ball in desperation. It fell perfectly in the path for Benzema. And with the outside of his boot, he feathered it into the corner. As nonchalant as you like. Ice in his veins, man. Game over, called by Karim Mustafa Benzema. To his credit, Messi's final free kick in this season's Champions League for PSG was a decent one, and it came close as it hit the roof of the net, but coming close brings you nothing, unfortunately. 3-1 Real Madrid was the final, 3-2 on aggregate, and another Champions League collapse for Nasser's collection. At 2-2 on aggregate, we all could see that there would be just one outcome. Why? Because of the difference in these two clubs. This is what happens when you cobble together a group of individuals. This is the product you will get over and over. Short-term thinking may get you a trophy or two, and credit to PSG when they came close in the Champions League in 2020, but football won there as well, with Bayern taking it, a team with a true identity that has carefully built their squad over many years. Pieces may change, but a core remains. The same could be said of Real Madrid in this instance. This is football heritage. This, yet again, is football heritage and a patient football project winning over mass spending and throwing endless money at something to buy your way to a European title. This image from Omar Momani says it all. Burning cash for years to just chase a shadow. The fight that these individuals at Real Madrid showed, the likes of Benzema, Modric, and so many others, but the veterans in particular are who I'm looking at, you can't buy that. That only comes from a place of love for the club you represent. That can only come from the heart, as unfortunately for PSG, they just don't have it, given their approach to building a project. Talent? Sure, but all of us know that football is more than simply talent. Where's their Thomas Muller, Robert Lewandowski, Manuel Neuer? Where's their Chiellini? Where's their Luka Modric, Benzema, etc.? Talented, elite players, of course, but more than just their talent. PSG don't have that. PSG don't have icons of the club. They have icons of football, but they don't have icons of the club because of their commitment to short-termism and constant turnover. I don't mean to knock on PSG too much, to say that they have no history or anything like that, because they do. Prior to 2012, they had won Ligue 1 twice, won the Coupe de France plenty of times, and the UEFA Cup Winners' Cup as well, amongst other trophies. Their history, as far as trophies go, was similar to that of Chelsea, actually, prior to Abramovich taking over. But where Abramovich and Manchester City, for that matter, have succeeded in constructing their clubs with a clear focus on the holistic approach, PSG project feels different. PSG's project feels like it was a race to win the Champions League prior to Qatar hosting the World Cup. PSG's approach feels like they are playing FIFA career mode, signing the likes of Messi, Sergio Ramos, Donnarumma, Hakimi, etc., all in the same window in a one last dance kind of approach, stinking of desperation with no idea as to how they will make it all work together. Conversely, Man City are signing players that fit into the vision of the club and manager to have a cohesive approach that will breed longevity and investing in their academy and giving opportunities to their academy. And now, in hearing these stories of the absolute fit that Nasser threw in the bowels of the Santiago Bernabeu, telling a Real Madrid cameraman that he will kill him, it all stings of a man who didn't get his way, who cannot fathom how with all of the resources he ultimately has a collection of individuals, some bordering on mercenaries, who fail to bring him the one trophy he desires over and over again, and he can't fathom it. So where do they go from here? PSG is a poison chalice, as I said when Pochettino signed on in this video. When the entire focus of the club is to strictly win the Champions League, the pressure that puts on the players will make them crumble again and again and again. Coaches will get sacked for not achieving that goal again and again and again. I mean, there's already rumors about Pochettino out the door. Money will always bring in certain talents, but I do question if the allure of PSG will continue to fool players for much longer, and I wonder how long Qatari sports investment will continue to try to push their club to the top of the football pyramid, or if they'll pack it in. One thing is for certain, their current approach hasn't worked, and it will continue to fail every time they meet a team like Real Madrid, the Barca of the past, Bayern Munich, hell, even Man City. A team that hasn't tasted European glory yet, but feels like they certainly have more direction than PSG. This, and maybe I'm being too dramatic here, but this feels like the beginning of the downfall of PSG, at least when it comes to their European aspirations. But what do you guys think? Am I being too harsh? Will PSG bounce back from this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, as I'm always game to read them. My name's Adrian, this is Rabona TV, and I hope you have a great day. Take care.